This is Nintendo World Cup for the NES, developed by Technos Japan and released in 1990. This was actually a localization of a game called Neketsu High School Dodgeball Club Soccer, and it was released for the PC Engine, Mega Drive, and Game Boy as well. I'm gonna have to check out the PC Engine version, that should be interesting. So this is soccer, or football, depending on where you live, and I suppose the character models they used here, it's pretty obvious for most people, they're designed to look like the models from River City Ransom. They're kind of squarish, and I always liked the way these characters looked, and I kind of wondered why we didn't see more games like this. The design just seemed to really fit with the NES console. So we're talking a straight-up sports game. There's nothing crazy here in terms of gameplay. It's just sports. It's soccer. We're not talking Mutant League football. There are no explosions. There are no guns or weapons. It's just soccer. As such, there's a lot of back and forth for a game, and the scores generally are not going to be very high, just like you'd expect. You can play against the computer, or up to 4 people if you have that multi-controller expansion for the system. When you first start a match, you can choose what country you want to be. Interesting enough, there's actual variety to the different teams. They change the character, appearances, and I think that's pretty great. They're all going to be roughly the same size, but the colors and the designs are going to vary. You also get to adjust the basics of how you're going to operate your team. Will your characters dribble or pass? Will you pull your goalkeeper and let them try to score as well? You can also set your players to always, sometimes, or never take shots on goal. This would make it so you always had to shoot, I suppose. I guess I can see a benefit to all of the different settings, but I'm probably most comfortable setting the players to sometimes take shots on goal. You can also change these settings every period too, so depending on how the match is going, you can adjust your tactics. When the match starts, you fully only control one player. So it's not like one of those sports games where you're always passing, and then suddenly you take control of whatever player grabs that ball or puck. That's not what it's like here. You control just one guy, and when that guy's off screen, you can still move him around and set his position. There's this little map at the bottom of the screen, and you can use this to reposition yourself. When you aren't moving around, or at least when you don't have the ball, you can send commands to the other players. When your players are on defense, you can have them slide into or check an opponent using the A or B buttons, and that lets you steal the ball. I seem to check people as much as possible. Also, if you nail a particular person enough times, you can actually knock them out for the quarter, and then you just run around their fallen body. Hey, since there's no referee running out to stop me, I'm going to keep doing it. Why wouldn't I? Once one of your guys has the ball, you can give them commands to pass to you. And of course, when you get the ball, the A button will let you pass and the B button will let you shoot. If the ball is also being passed your way, and it's sort of in the air on its way, if you press the A and B button at the same time, you're going to attempt one of those backflip kicks. I don't know, it's a soccer thing. I've seen it in movies somewhere. It's particularly awesome if you can get the timing right. It's great to do a backflip and send a ball into the goal. It's very cool. I think the music here is pretty solid for an NES game. I guess maybe it's a bit generic by today's standards, but it certainly works, and it definitely fits the subject matter. It's what I would hope for any NES game of that era, really. You do get plenty of good old NES sprite flickering, but when you're into the game and you're running back and forth trying to score, I don't really care about that too much. It doesn't seem to be too big of a bother. Like many games from the NES era, though, I do wonder about some of the color changes that they decided to make. Maybe they could have made some better choices there. I mean, specifically, the soccer ball is pink and blue. It seems to me black and white would have made a lot more sense and would have been plenty viewable on screen. Just a strange choice to make. But I'm not a programmer, so who knows what the requirements were. This one is actually a bit more fun than I expected, and although I wish there might have been some slight variety to some of the color, this one does play pretty well. Having all the teams that are there to choose from is pretty nice, and I'm actually really happy that there are no branded FIFA teams. You don't have to worry about specific real-life players, and you don't have to worry about any pay-to-play tactics. There are no loot boxes, no gambling, no crazy complexities that are muddling the gameplay. You just get to play the game. It's kind of a dream. Well, that's all I have today for a Nintendo World Cup. It's not that expensive a game, and it's actually pretty fun to play, so if you have any interest in soccer, this one's probably worth it. Thanks for stopping by to take a look, and hope to catch you on another one.